The undisclosed history of Babri Mosque. The Babri Mosque, an ancient structure in the heart of Ayodhya, a city in India's Uttar Pradesh state, has been a focal point of religious and political controversy. In today's video, we'll delve into the undisclosed history of the Babri Mosque, a story of faith, politics, and cultural conflict that has spanned centuries. The birth of the Babri Mosque. According to inscriptions on the site, it was built in the year 935 of the Islamic calendar by Mir Baqi, possibly a bey serving under the Mughal Emperor Babur. Along with the mosques at Sampal and Panipat, it was one of three mosques said to have been constructed in the 16th century upon Babur's orders. The mosque was constructed in a style developed under the short-lived Lodi dynasty that preceded the Mughals, small with a single aisle arrangement of three domed bays along the wall of the Qibla. The gateway of the middle bay, a pishtak emphasizing the building's presence and importance, was considerably higher than those of the side bays. The location of the mosque has been a source of contention between Muslims and Hindus, the latter asserting that it was built on top of Ram Jamma Pumi, the site they believe to be the birthplace of the Hindu deity Rama. The first recorded instance of conflict over the site between the religious communities was in 1853, during an era of socio-political transition throughout India. During the British rule over the Indian subcontinent, separate areas of the site were set up for Muslims and for Hindus. In 1949, after India was partitioned and became independent, images of Rama were brought into the mosque. In the ensuing controversy, the site was closed off to both communities, but the images were not removed. This creation followed Babur's successful conquest of India. Historically documented as a magnificent edifice, the mosque boasted three large domes, its location steeped in profound religious significance. The detailed history and architectural features of the mosque reflect the grandeur and style of Mughal architecture, presenting an amalgamation of Persian, Turkish, and Indian architectural styles. This monumental structure stood for centuries, bearing witness to the changing times and evolving history of Ayodhya. The mosque's origin story lays the foundation for understanding the subsequent controversy and conflicts that enshroud its history. Claim of the Hindu temple. Many Hindus ardently believe that the Babri Mosque's establishment entailed the destruction of a sacred temple, honoring Lord Rama, widely considered to be born at this very location. Ancient scriptures, historical narratives, and archaeological remnants hint at the possible presence of a Hindu temple preceding the mosque's construction. This theory, however, is shrouded in mystery and ambiguity due to the lack of incontrovertible evidence. Therefore, while some argue this claim's validity based on historical and religious texts and archaeological indicators, others dispute it due to the absence of irrefutable proof. The tension born from this discrepancy has contributed significantly to the disputes and controversies surrounding the Babri Mosque, linking it to the ongoing discourse on India's religious and cultural history. The political and religious controversy. A landmark dispute emerged over the Babri Mosque in 1853, when it became the epicenter of religious discord, following its occupation by Hindu monks. This incident sparked widespread communal riots, underscoring the intense religious sentiments attached to the site. As India achieved independence from British rule, the mosque took center stage in the national discourse, embodying perceived historical wrongs. It soon became a symbol and rallying point for Hindu nationalists, who saw it as a representation of their religious rights and identity. Politicians capitalized on this fervor, using the mosque as a pawn in their political strategy, amplifying religious divisions and often stoking communal tensions for electoral gain. This manipulation of religious sentiments for political purposes significantly intensified the conflict around the Babri Mosque, making it one of the most controversial religious sites in India's history. The demolition of the mosque. The increasing tensions surrounding the Babri Mosque eventually led to its tragic destruction on December 6, 1992. A crowd of Hindu activists, believing in their right to reclaim the sacred site, carried out the demolition. This day is often marked as one of the most deplorable episodes in India's contemporary history, sparking nationwide communal clashes that resulted in over 2,000 fatalities. The demolition signified more than just a violent act of religious fanaticism. It was a blatant violation of India's constitutional principles, which advocate the preservation of all religious sites, reflecting the country's diverse religious landscape. This distressing event signified a profound breakdown of communal harmony and escalated the ongoing conflict surrounding the mosque. Aftermath and the Ram Jamma Pumi movement. The shattering incident of the Babri Mosque destruction paved the way for the emergence of the Ram Jamma Pumi movement. This initiative was driven by Hindu nationalists who aspired to reclaim the site and erect a temple in honor of Lord Rama. This shift had a notable impact on India's religious landscape, further segregating the country's population along religious demarcations. Political entities, too, exploited this movement as a means to garner support from Hindu constituents. Yet, it's important to remember that while the movement holds significant religious importance for many, it also accentuates the potential for religious divides to be manipulated for political objectives. The aftermath of the mosque demolition and the subsequent rise of the Ram Jamma Pumi movements serve as a clear illustration of how religious sentiment can be harnessed and occasionally distorted within the sphere of politics. The Supreme Court verdict. In a historic decision in November 2019, India's Supreme Court ruled that the contested site should be given to Hindu groups, allowing them to construct a Ram temple. Simultaneously, the court instructed the government to assign a separate 5-acre plot to the Muslim community for the purpose of building a new mosque. The judgment received a mixed response. Some praised the verdict, deeming it a fair resolution to the long-standing dispute. Others, however, expressed criticism, arguing that the decision fell short of upholding the nation's secular principles and calming communal tensions. The landmark verdict did not just determine the fate of the disputed site, but also echoed in the religious, cultural, and political corridors of India, redefining the contours of the nation's secular fabric. The Babri Mosque in the contemporary context. The Babri Mosque's historical legacy continues to stir deep emotions in Hindus and Muslims alike. Post the Supreme Court's decision, the construction of a temple at the disputed site has commenced, marking a new phase in the location's historical journey. It's a hopeful development that this could foster a future of mutual understanding and respect between India's major religious communities. Nonetheless, the saga of the Babri Mosque provides a stark warning about the dangers of intolerance in matters of faith and the exploitation of these sentiments for political advantage. The mosque's intricate history highlights the delicate balance between religion and politics, emphasizing the need for maintaining this balance to ensure peace and communal harmony. Today, as we witness the evolution of the Babri Mosque site, it becomes all the more important to remember its complex past and strive to ensure that history doesn't repeat itself. This brings us to the end of this video. Before you leave, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for future interesting videos like this.